you do it. That's what it's about. It's about meeting students where they're at and bringing your content area alive for them. Welcome to the Teach, Lead, Innovate podcast, where we dive deep into the heart of innovation, leadership, and transformative ideas shaping the future of education and technology. Each episode is a journey into the minds of visionary educators, thinkers, and leaders who are not just talking about change, they're living it. Real people leading real change. This is where passion meets practice and ideas come to life. Welcome to the Teach, Lead, Innovate podcast. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Teach, Lead, Innovate. Today is Tech Tuesday, and today we are talking about immersive technologies. From virtual reality, VR, to augmented reality, AR, these tools are no longer futuristic fantasies. They're revolutionizing how students engage with learning today. And if you've ever wondered how immersive tech can boost student engagement, deepen understanding, and create more equitable learning experiences, well, this episode is for you. We're going to break down the research, look at real-world success stories, and, of course, explore how you can bring immersive tech into your school or classroom. So what is immersive technology, right? So immersive tech includes virtual reality, VR, augmented reality, AR, and mixed reality, MR, all designed to create interactive 3D experiences that help students grasp concepts in ways that traditional methods can sometimes fall short. So instead of simply reading about the solar system, imagine walking through space in VR, right? Instead of looking at diagrams of the human body, imagine manipulating a 3D hologram of a beating heart in AR. And research from Perong and Meyer found that students using VR for science education retained information 30% better than those using traditional methods. Immersive learning isn't just engaging, it is effective, especially according to the data that we're getting back these days. So let's take a look at some real world examples of immersive tech in action. So the first one I want to share with you is the Smithsonian's VR Learning Lab. The Smithsonian Institution launched an AR and VR learning lab that allows students to explore historical artifacts up close. And this program has increased student retention of historical content by a staggering 45% compared to traditional lectures. And at Arizona State, ASU has fully integrated VR simulations into their science courses, where students can conduct experiments in virtual laboratories. And a study found that students using Dreamscape Learn outperformed their peers by 18% on assessments. And then let's take a look at some medical schools like John Hopkins and the Harvard Medical School that are using Microsoft HoloLens AR to allow medical students to visualize and interact with human anatomy. And a study from John Hopkins found that AR trained students performed 33% better in surgical simulations compared to those using textbooks alone. You see, while this is engaging immersive tech, it's not just engaging, right? I mean, that may be enough to utilize it in the first place, but it's not just it's not just engaging, it's effective. It's actually helping to improve student learning outcomes. And so, how does immersive tech boost learning? So, according to Ballinson, immersive learning activities activate multiple sensory inputs, making lessons more engaging and memorable. And students who struggle with traditional methods, for example, multilingual learners, students with disabilities, they benefit from VR and AR's interactive visual format. And that is according to a research done in 2023. And immersive tech also allows students to apply what they learn in real world simulations, right? So it's kind of like there's a bridge between, it's bridging the gap between theory and practice. And it helps to reinforce skills through experience rather than memorization, experiential learning. And I think that's where immersive tech really has such a benefit, is because it does make learning an experience. And anytime you make learning an experience, you're going to see such an amazing outcome from that. And so immersive tech helps make that happen. And so how do you begin using immersive tech in your classroom if you are not already doing so? So, start small, right? I always say start small, one app at a time. And there's plenty of free VR and AR apps out there that you can use. Apps like Google Expeditions, Merge EDU, and CoSpaces EDU provide low cost ways to integrate AR and VR into your classroom. Also, utilize web based AR and VR, right? So, platforms like ZSpace, Mozilla Hubs, and Frame VR allow students to experience immersive environments without needing expensive headsets. And that's oftentimes a challenge as well. I want them to experience virtual reality, but how do I do so? Because we can't afford those big headsets. Well, there are web based resources that you can use that can help you create a similar, robust, interactive experience. And so also like see grants. There's funding out there to create VR labs. Schools can apply for education technology grants from organizations like ISTE, Donors Choose, and the National Science Foundation to implement VR and AR learning labs. And a 2025 study published in Computers in Education found that students using immersive VR simulations in STEM courses scored 22% higher on exams compared to those using traditional teaching methods. And the study emphasized that VR fosters deeper cognitive engagement and enhances problem solving skills, particularly in subjects like physics and chemistry. So, immersive technology isn't just a fun gimmick, it's literally reshaping education and engagement and the future of education. As VR and AR become more accessible, educators have an unprecedented opportunity to truly revolutionize learning in the classroom. And I know we always see revolutionize, revolutionize. It's like everywhere, right? Every product is revolutionary, every teaching method is revolutionary. But when you can make, and as a professor of history, if you can bring the past to life, like a textbook and maybe primary sources cannot do alone, you do it. Like that's what it's about. It's about meeting students where they're at and bringing your content area alive for them. And I think immersive technology can certainly help in that goal. And so, how do you see immersive technology impacting education? I want to know. Have you tried VR or AR in your classroom or school? Please let me know. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear how you are doing so. As always, thank you for tuning in to Teach, Lead, Innovate. You can watch this podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your audio podcast from. Right? If today's episode resonated with you, please take a moment to like, share, comment below. I would love to keep the conversation going, and I would always love to hear your thoughts. So until next time, stay inspired, stay positive, and have the best day ever.